Even in zoos, wild animals can attack and cause fatalities. Many times, people take risks out of curiosity or recklessness, motivated by trivial things like taking a photo, seeing the animal up close, grabbing an object that fell inside the cage, or even parents who let their children fall into the enclosures of dangerous animals. And that is exactly what you are going to see here today. So go ahead and leave your like, click the button below to subscribe, and let's go. Visiting zoos and safaris can be an amazing experience, but some people ignore the safety rules, which can have tragic consequences. One example happened in China in July of 2016, when Zhao and her family visited Badaling Wildlife World, a safari where visitors drive through animal enclosures. During the tour, Xiao got out of the car and walked to the other side of the vehicle. Within a few seconds, a tiger attacked her. Her husband got out but had no reaction. In a desperate act, Xiao's mother left the car to try to save her daughter. Unfortunately, another tiger appeared and attacked the woman as well. Park guards arrived soon after, but Xiao's mother did not survive. Fortunately, Zhao survived. The family filed a lawsuit against the zoo, claiming that the safety rules were not explained properly. Zhao said she signed a document without knowing it was a liability waiver. However, the park stated that all safety measures were clear and that visitors are instructed not to get out of the car. The case sparked a debate in China about safety in these places. Many people blamed Zhao for the tragedy, stating that ignoring the warnings was a serious mistake. In the end, the family received a partial settlement. Jaguars are powerful wild animals, known for their strength and hunting skills. When they feel threatened or provoked, they can react aggressively, as in the case of an attack that occurred in March of 2019. A woman, in her 30s, was attacked by a jaguar while trying to take a selfie at the Wildlife World Zoo in Litchfield Park, Arizona. She climbed over the safety barrier of the cage to get closer to the animal, but the jaguar, upon noticing the approach, extended its paw and injured her arm. Sean Gilliland, the spokesman for Rural Metro Fire Department, stated that the attack happened at night and that the woman was quickly taken to the hospital with treatable injuries. The zoo clarified that the jaguar never left its enclosure and that the barriers were there to ensure visitors' safety. Authorities stressed the importance of respecting these barriers, since they are designed to protect both the animals and the people. Witnesses like Adam Wilkerson described the panic of the moment. Adam and his mother ran to help, and his mother used a water bottle to distract the jaguar, allowing the woman to be taken out safely. After the attack, the woman returned to the zoo and apologized, expressing regret for the negative impact on the zoo's image. She took responsibility for the situation and apologized for the unwanted attention the case generated. Working with wild animals always involves risks, especially when safety standards are not strictly followed. Stacy Conweiser, an experienced animal keeper of 38 years, lost her life in April of 2016 while at the Palm Beach Zoo in Florida. The incident happened when she entered the area of a Malayan tiger, even though there was a warning that the animal was present. At the time, Stacy was not carrying pepper spray, which is a safety requirement for zookeepers, used to ward off animals and control risky situations. The attack took place as she was preparing for a presentation with the tiger. Upon hearing a scream, other workers ran to the scene and found the tiger and Stacy in a difficult situation to describe. When paramedics arrived, they found that she no longer had vital signs. To control the tiger and prevent further harm, the decision was to tranquilize it instead of using a firearm to shoot it. The president of the Palm Beach Zoo, Andrew Aiken, explained that there was a risk the bullet could ricochet and hit someone, so the priority was to ensure everyone's safety. Despite deciding to tranquilize the tiger, Stacy was taken to the hospital, where she was pronounced dead. White tigers are powerful and unpredictable animals, and their wild behavior can be dangerous. When they attack, there is usually no time to react. In September of 2014, at the New Delhi Zoo in India, a 20-year-old man was attacked by a white tiger while inside the animal's enclosure, and unfortunately, he did not survive. According to zoo manager Riaz Khan, the man apparently jumped or fell into the pen where the tiger was. Witnesses reported that the attack happened around 13 hours and 30 minutes. A visitor, identified only as Himanshu, ran to the area when he noticed the victim needed help. He saw the tiger using its strength against the individual. No one was able to intervene, and the victim remained in the enclosure with the animal for about 10 to 15 minutes. The zoo was aware of the situation, and the police were called immediately. However, by the time they arrived, they could not save the man, who was already lifeless. Himanshu also mentioned that the tiger's enclosure had a low fence, which might have made it easier for the man to fall or jump in. Gorillas are extremely strong animals and, in some situations, may behave unpredictably, posing a risk to people's safety. In May of 2016, a shocking case took place at the Cincinnati Zoo in the United States, involving one of these animals. A boy of only 3 years managed to get past the enclosure's security and fell inside the space where a gorilla named Harambe was. He ended up in the shallow water moat after climbing a fence and falling from a considerable height. When Harambe approached the child, he accompanied him through the water, causing extreme concern among onlookers and zoo staff. Although the other gorillas were lured inside the enclosure, Harambe went to the boy and started interacting with him in a very agitated way. The crowd's screams seemed to increase the animal's distress. After a few minutes of tension, the zoo staff decided to use a firearm on Harambe, believing the boy's safety was at risk. The gorilla was killed with a single shot, and the child was taken to a hospital. Everybody has been in a situation where they lost something and wanted to retrieve it at any cost. However, in some attempts, people end up pushing the boundaries of what is safe. In April of 2016, a woman was caught doing just that by jumping the protective fence of a tiger enclosure to retrieve a hat that had fallen inside. She was filmed climbing the fence and grabbing the hat, while the Sumatran tiger, named Hari, rushed toward her, but remained behind a second barrier, unable to reach the woman. After she got the hat back, she jumped back outside and was called an idiot by a visitor who witnessed the scene. The zoo, through its spokeswoman Jennifer Tracy, stated that the incident happened on a Saturday afternoon and that no staff were present at the time, as the worker responsible for that enclosure was taking care of other nearby animals. Tracy warned about the risks the woman's behavior posed, reminding everyone that situations like this can end in tragedy if the tiger had reacted differently. Toronto Zoo emphasized that when objects fall into animal areas, visitors must call employees who have the necessary equipment to safely retrieve items without putting anyone in danger. Orangutans are strong animals and, when provoked, they can react aggressively, posing danger to anyone who gets too close. In April of 2016, an alarming incident involved Hassan Arifin, a visitor who approached an orangutan's cage and ended up being confronted by the animal, named Tina. The orangutan grabbed Hassan's shirt and would not let go. The struggle between them was intense, with the man trying to break free but being pulled closer and closer to the bars. The animal's strength was impressive, and Hassan was nearly lifted off the ground. Luckily, he was not injured, thanks to the intervention of others who helped him escape. Kasang Kulim Zoo, located in Riau Province in Indonesia, had to issue a statement about the incident. The zoo's manager, Desrizal, apologized and explained that Hassan had crossed the safety barrier to try to record a video of the orangutan. In addition, he said that the visitor had provoked Tina using his foot, which caused the animal's reaction. Lemurs can attack in situations where they feel threatened or stressed, especially if their space is invaded or if they are provoked. This happened in March of 2022, when a 1-year and 5-month-old boy named Lawrence was attacked by a lemur at Half Moon Petting Zoo in Jackson County, Georgia. The family was visiting the zoo and, as is common, Lawrence's father, Ronald Carroll, was holding his son while they approached the lemur's cage. According to Ronald's account, the cage door was open, and suddenly, the lemur leaped onto the boy's head. The father was desperate during the attack, but Lawrence was quickly taken to the hospital. The situation caused a lot of concern, mainly because of the risk of infections, as the lemur was not vaccinated. Ronald and his wife were terrified, not only by the attack but also by the fear of diseases transmitted by animals, like rabies. However, a pediatrician said that the risk of contagion was low, although the parents remained on alert. The owner of the zoo, Marek Alpold, who was present during the attack, stated that lemurs have a habit of jumping on people when they are inside the cage, but said they had never acted that way before. It was an interactive zoo where people could have more direct contact with the lemurs by entering their enclosure. Nevertheless, he acknowledged that the safety at the place needed to be reviewed, and local authorities such as the Georgia Department of Natural Resources were investigating the matter to assess visitors' safety and that of the animals themselves. Tigers are extremely strong and dangerous animals with a bite that can cause serious damage. These felines, known for their strength and hunting prowess, can do great harm when they feel threatened or provoked. A tiger's strength is impressive, and its bite can be fatal to humans. This was evident in an attack that took place in March of 2022 when Ignacio Nacho Abi Martinez was attacked by a tiger at Wooten's Everglades airboat tours in Florida. Nacho, 48 years old, could not free himself from the animal alone and needed help from a police officer. After escaping the attack, he received immediate medical attention. The incident occurred after the man followed an employee into a restricted area and placed his hands inside the enclosure, probably attempting to feed or touch the animal. The fact that he was struck by a tiger, one of nature's most powerful predators, clearly demonstrates the danger these animals pose, even in controlled environments like zoos. African wild dogs, also known as painted dogs, are predators with a strong hunting instinct and territorial behavior. Hunting in packs, they can be extremely dangerous, especially when they feel threatened. In November of 2012, Maddox Durkosh, a 2-year-old boy, suffered a tragic accident at the Pittsburgh Zoo and PPG Aquarium involving African wild dogs. His mother, Elizabeth Durkosh, lifted him so he could get a better look at the animals, but he lost his balance and fell directly into the enclosure where the dogs were. Sadly, Maddox did not survive the encounter. Witnesses said the area became full of employees trying to drive the animals away. The police were called and, to stop the attack, one of the most aggressive dogs was shot and killed. The zoo argued, in response to a lawsuit, that the mother was responsible for the tragedy, for failing to keep control of Maddox. The family sued the zoo, claiming negligence for not having taken measures to prevent the accident, since there had already been warnings about dangerous behavior near that enclosure. In June of 2014, the family and the zoo reached a settlement, the details of which were kept confidential. The combination of mental illnesses with the use of alcohol and illegal substances can create extremely dangerous and unpredictable situations. Often, people dealing with these problems become unable to perceive the risks around them, which can lead to high-risk behavior. Jang Ho Chan, a 46-year-old man, ended up in a fatal situation when he climbed the protective fence separating visitors from lions at a zoo. He was under the influence of alcohol and illegal substances, as well as suffering from mental problems, which caused him to lose control and enter a high-risk area. Jang Ho approached the lions recklessly and, in a provocative act, started waving his jacket as if he were a matador. The lion, already with aggressive instincts, did not hesitate to react. The lion attacked, and Jang Ho did not try to escape. He seemed completely disoriented. After the attack, the zoo's staff tried to control the situation, and, using a high-pressure water jet, they managed to drive the animals away and rescue Jang Ho. He was taken to a hospital, where he received care for his physical health and also for his mental health. A polar bear is a huge and very strong animal, with sharp instincts that can become dangerous if it feels threatened or provoked. That is exactly what happened to Catherine Warber, an Australian of 29 years. She had jumped over some low barriers in a zoo, trying to get a closer photo of Binky, a polar bear. Unfortunately, the animal reacted unexpectedly. Binky attacked Catherine, ready to deliver a bite that could have been fatal. Luckily, rescuers managed to pull Catherine out, but she needed urgent hospital care. In zoos, animal keepers are highly trained and must follow strict safety protocols. It is never allowed to fool around with the animals, much less try to get their attention imprudently, such as making gestures or putting a hand through the bars. This attitude can be extremely dangerous, both for the employees and for the animals themselves. Unfortunately, in May of 2022, an alarming incident at Jamaica Zoo showed what can happen when these protocols are not followed. An animal keeper was filmed attempting to play with a lion, provoking it and placing his hand between the bars of the cage, trying to impress zoo visitors. He tried to get the lion's attention, as if he were playing with a house cat. Suddenly, the lion attacked the keeper, who had to struggle to break free from the animal in a shocking scene. Jamaica Zoo released a statement saying that the keeper's actions did not reflect the zoo's safety standards. They stated that this incident was a tragedy that should not have happened, and that they are investigating to prevent similar situations in the future. Do not forget to subscribe to watch more videos like this one.